Hi, my name is Jeff Sturgis. I'm from Whitetail Habitat Solutions, and boy, we have so much work to do all year long. And it's kind of like during the hunting season, people say, well, it must be your busy time of the year. It's actually my relaxing time because I love to sit in a tree stand, a deer blind. We hunt a few different states, other than getting up really early and sitting down in the tree. No one's feeling sorry for me, but that's the time that we actually relax. I'm not saying it's hard at all sitting in a tree. I enjoy it. But the rest of the year, we need to get work done. We have a lot of hills around here, but it's not just the hills. We're up in the north here. We're in southeast Minnesota. We get a lot of snow and we get a lot of drifting. And so huge change from back in the day when I'm going out and creating a bedding area in 1999 or 2000, I'm literally pulling a sled in the UP in Michigan with my chainsaw and snowshoes to get back into some really remote areas, or areas we couldn't even get a snowmobile to. And especially when you consider all the drifting and getting back into, it made it very problematic unless we had a trapper sled to actually get back into those locations with a snowmobile, let alone anything else. So that meant walking. Here, we're several ridges away from our home site. We have bedding areas to scout, bedding areas to cut with the chainsaw. We have the edge work that we just did right out here with the chainsaw, which we're creating that edge. We're letting sunlight back into that edge, and we're thickening that edge. Edge equals whitetails, but it also equals rabbit cover, pheasant cover. We have the switchgrass up here, gray dogwood, different types of goldenrod, ragweed, and weeds down in here, early successional growth. And then we have the cuttings and edge, and then that finally gets into our woods. The wider that edge is and the more diverse, the more wildlife we have. All that takes place during the winter. We're out here. So being able to use the tracks now, and we've had the tracks for a few years now, to actually get in. We were just back here scouting a new mock scrape, a new stand location. We're out here with our excavator, showing him where we're going to put new roads in, getting his approval. Yeah, you can do that there. There's a lot of things that I think we should be able to do, and he tells me we can't do. But bottom line is, so much work that we need to do during the winter time. And really, when it comes to the deeper snow and it comes to the wet terrain, for us to walk back here into this location, it's nearly impossible during the winter time. We'd have to snowshoe up and down, come back here. We're almost a mile from our home site over here. And when you add in the deep snows, it just wouldn't be something we would do probably, maybe I would do it 30 years ago, but not now, especially carrying the chainsaw. Then you add in the hills. And the hills around here, we get 3 or 4 inches of wet snow on, and it's very treacherous going up and down. We can't go up and down these hills with wheels on during the summertime when it's wet. So we leave the tracks on year-round on this machine so that we can actually get around and enjoy the land. We need them for about 9 months out of the year. There's some dry periods during the summer where we could use wheels and locations, but even then, on the steep terrain, the tracks allow us to not only scout the land, enjoy family rides, but get in, do the chainsaw work we need to do the trail camera, mock scrape, and everything we do for whitetails on an annual basis. And what a blessing that we can actually use the tracks to get this work done, because what it's done is it's turned opportune times of work scattered randomly throughout the winter time and during the summer based on the amount of rain we get to consistent. If we want to go work, doesn't matter what the conditions are, doesn't matter what the weather is, we can go out and get the job done. So been very fortunate to transition into using the track machines, and helps us not only live, think, and strategize for Whitetails 365, but actually get out in the woods and work whenever we want to 365.